News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
Closing arguments today. Good morning, everyone. It's Montana Morning. It's Monday, April 6, 2015. Hoping your Easter weekend was lovely and meaningful and relaxing. Right now, we have a cloudy sky, 36 degrees in Missoula. Our newscast this morning, sponsored by Kootenai Creek Village, the maintenance-free active adult community in Stevensville, where you'll have hundreds of builders' options to choose from for the best of Western Montana living. Our top story this morning, testimony wrapped up at the Missoula County Courthouse Friday in the Mountain Water Company condemnation lawsuit. On the stand, Mountain Water Company President John Kappas and Missoula City Attorney, Jim Nugent. Kappas was first to take the stand for a second time during the trial and publicized the numerous awards Mountain Water has received over the years for service. And he defended the way Mountain Water has chosen to invest in its infrastructure.
Mountain Water Company, or the Missoula Water System, there was a great opportunity to acquire other water utilities in the vicinity, right?
Yeah, that's because there's about 140 small water systems just in Missoula County alone.
And it might be in the interest of a parent company to go out and acquire other utilities, right?
Nugent is no stranger to Mountain Water Company himself. In fact, he was involved the first time Missoula attempted to condemn the water utility back in 1983, in which the city lost. In his testimony Friday, he read from an email chain that referred to the sale of Mountain Water to out-of-state enterprises and that the risk of such a transaction, quote, wouldn't consider the needs of the citizens of Missoula, end quote.
In your opinion, do you agree that the sale of Mountain Water Company to yet another for-profit out-of-state enterprise would not be in the best interests of the citizens of Missoula? Do you agree with that?
Absolutely.
Closing statements from both parties before Judge Karen Townsend are scheduled for this morning. This is a bench trial. There is no jury, so Judge Townsend will make the decision. The Marcus Karma defense team has successfully filed a notice of appeal with the Montana Supreme Court. Attorney with Paul Ryan and Associates Nate Holloway says the notice of appeal was filed Thursday. One of the issues on appeal, a change of venue.
We believe that Marcus was not going to get a fair trial in Missoula County, and that's not to say anything about the jurors or their honesty or integrity or anything like that. It's just saying that when you have so much media attention, sometimes despite any efforts to get rid of any preconceived notions on the case, you just can't disregard them.
Holloway will be submitting over 450 exhibits of media coverage that the defense team asserted were prejudicial to a potential jury pool. In addition, the defense team will ask for a new trial because of the instructions given to the jury by District Judge Ed McLean.
We asked for a new trial based on the jury instructions. We believe that it was error to instruct the jury on justifiable use of force in defense of persons because we thought that this case fell squarely within our affirmative defense of justifiable use of force in defense of an occupied structure.
Holloway says the court has not yet stated that the Karma case will receive a hearing for oral arguments. However, it is on the docket of the highest court in the state.
Each issue that's going to be raised when it goes up to the Supreme Court, we're going to get a second look at it, and we believe that some legal conclusions were made and that we just disagree with.
Karma was convicted in December of deliberate homicide in the death of 17-year-old German exchange student Darren Dede. He was sentenced February 12th to 70 years in prison. The only Medicaid expansion bill left in play will go before the same conservative Republican-led committee tomorrow that killed the governor's proposal. Sponsored by Republican Ed Buttrey of Great Falls, Senate Bill 405 will be presented in the House Human Services Committee at 11 a.m. tomorrow in the Capitol. The Montana Senate passed the measure touted as a compromise back on March 30th. Buttrey introduced the bill after Democratic Governor Steve Bullock's proposal to expand Medicaid was defeated soundly in March. A Missoula-based company is seeking a contract with the U.S. Forest Service to provide planes for fighting wildfires. Neptune Aviation has put in a bid to provide fire bombers for the Forest Service for the next 5 to 10 years. The new contracts call for fire bombers that can carry at least 3,000 gallons of retardant and cruise at 300 knots when fully loaded. Neptune Chief Operating Officer Dan Snyder says it's a competitive process, but if things go their way, it'll create some security for the company's future. Just days after avian influenza was diagnosed in a domesticated falcon in the Flathead, authorities are reporting that chickens in the Judith Basin have been hit as well. Montana Department of Livestock Assistant State Veterinarian Tani Zimanski explains.
So this is a small flock. It was less than 100 birds in total.
They lost about 50 chickens to the virus, and then their remaining numbers, because of the presence of that virus on their property, will be required to be depopulated to make sure that we're not allowing that virus to spread any further.
Szymanski says all bird owners are asked to be on guard.
If there's any potential contact with migratory waterfowl or migratory wild birds, we want to make sure that we're trying to limit that contact or exposure. The virus is spread in respiratory secretions as well as in droppings. If they have an increase in death loss, or they're seeing kind of sudden onset of sick chickens in their flock, we would really encourage them to contact our department, the Department of Livestock.
The avian flu found in Montana is H5N2 and is not a strain that can easily migrate to humans. The Montana Fish, Wildlife, and Parks is having trouble retaining game wardens and is scrambling to fill open positions from Miles City all the way to Great Falls. As of this winter, 12 of the 75 field game warden positions in the state were vacant, which is 3 times the number the agency usually has at any given time. FDWP is seeking more money for the enforcement operations budget from lawmakers this session. Attorneys for a Washington state company proposing a major new mine in Montana will ask a court-appointed panel of experts this week, to reject a $10 million compensation request from a group that includes former Governor Brian Schweitzer. Schweitzer is an investor in Optima, which holds mining claims that were condemned to make way for the Montanore silver and copper mine near Libby. Well, it took less than 2 minutes for hundreds of excited kids to scoop up thousands of plastic eggs filled with prizes on the University of Montana Oval Saturday afternoon. The event almost didn't take place until a generous local businessman stepped in to help. Michael Burks, who owns the Garden of Eden Christian Bookstore and the Missoula Maulers Hockey Club, said everyone who works for him took part in getting ready for the big day on Saturday.
Kind of comparing it to the whole Charlie the Chocolate Factory, where the spoiled daughter's dad stops shelling nuts and starts opening candy bars. We literally stopped everything in every business that I have and focused on this. Between prizes, sponsorships, stuffing eggs, and everything else, it has been the longest week ever.
Burks said the experience helps put life in perspective.
100% worth it. Just to see these kids running around for prizes and excited, watching my own grandson here opening up eggs. It's so worth it. You know, everybody gets into your world where you're just, rat race and getting things done, and to actually do this stuff and just sit back and watch the fruit of all the work it's just amazing.
Hosting the event, Town Square Media's own Aaron Traylor, America's tallest DJ, and KPAX television meteorologist Aaron Yost. News Talk Times 610.
News Talk KGVO.
Missoula's official weather station.
Mostly cloudy to cloudy skies today with scattered showers. Highs will top out in the upper 40s. We could see a light accumulation of snowfall early this morning before showers change to all rain. I'm meteorologist Brooke Foster for KECI 13.